Good afternoon. Where do I sit comfortably without my eyes? Something like that. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna sneeze. Right. So I have to relax. But I'm also gonna try and do this quickly. So, uh, just come back from work and I have to get off to Edinburgh very quickly. Well, soon. Got some laundry going, so gotta wait till that's done anyway. But I wanted to quickly do this so that before I go, I can register this job lot which I bought yesterday off someone at work. My other job. So, quite exciting. You know how much I love a job lot. I'm going to return to its box, the one game that I got out and mucked about with. Big box. NES games. So, perfectly stacked. There's 20. So, guy I've been talking to at work, manager actually, who's had this stuff lying around for ages, and at the time I said, oh well, tell me what you've got and I might buy a few of them. And now I'm kind of into trying to resell stuff. I said, look, photograph the lot and I will probably buy it all. So that kind of gave him a kick up the arse to just do it, and we just did it. I still need to pay him actually, but so just picked something out at random there. So yeah, I gave him a good deal. I gave him more than he would have gotten cash at CEX, but I should be able to make a bit of profit off of selling some of these. I'm going to keep some of them. You'll probably be able to guess the ones when I go through them, of which this is not included, in which, yep, it's a football game. I'm not going to talk about that. Some of these are quite dirty. Don't know if you can really see, but you'll take my word for it that it's pretty dirty on the inside there. Yeah, you can see that, can you? Ugh, minging. I'm going to clean them up to some extent, certainly, before putting them online. Yeah, so this is kind of a fun one. Darkwing Duck. I might try to play this, although don't know if I really care that much about it. None of these are super rare or anything. A few of them are worth a little bit more than others. Now, this is what I'm definitely keeping. Mega Man 2. Oh, ouch, bit my mouth. Total classic, obviously. I've played it certainly on emulators before. I tried to play this yesterday. I cleaned this up. Don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can see that it's reflective. The plastic reflects light now. I've got one of the wee like hex type screw things. A hex key's an Allen key, really, isn't it? No, so whatever. I've got one of these screws, and I cleaned up that bit in there mostly. Although I remembered afterwards I've got a toothbrush, which would have been perfect for that. I tried to play it, and it's not working because my NES is a bit broken. So same experience I had with Zelda back when I bought it, and I'm pretty sure that cartridge worked. Anyway, that's going to get in the way of testing these games before selling them, so it's possible that I'm going to have to hold on to them like they're hot before selling them, because I can't really adequately test them, which it doesn't feel good. So these are fucking filthy. Yesterday when I was cleaning it, I felt like I could like get a smell off of it. No, maybe it's all in my head. Double Dragon 2 rather. These are like 80s classics, so I should give them a go. It's really not the kind of game that really interests me a lot. Obviously they hold nostalgia for people who played them as children, but without that experience, despite them being classics of the NES library, they're not included in the games that I would like to try even for the first time. Maybe I've got the wrong idea about them, but I think they're sort of like, or beat 'em ups in that kind of way. Side-scrolling beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage, which I did play and which I do have nostalgia for. So, Hook. Don't know. Part of me is curious even about all these movie tie-in games on the NES because of AVGN, Angry Video Game Nerd. It's not a nostalgia, but it's a romanticization of that kind of game. Bad NES games. I think the Darkwing Duck, which AVGN played, was on the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive. So, but that occurred to me with that one. I mean, I never heard of Darkwing Duck. It's a Donald Duck thing, really, isn't it? Hogan's Alley, one of the like black label NES games. I can see, there's golf, there's Super Mario Bros, Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, but I don't know anything about Hogan's Alley. Light Gun, so Light Gun. Turtles 2, the arcade game. I played an arcade game, 1991. This one's got a bit of a torn label. Most of these are in pretty good condition apart from their cleanliness. That's a wee shame. There was a Turtles arcade game that I played on a family holiday when I was very, very, very young. That I remember being amazing, really good. And I thought I was under some vague belief that it, like the Simpsons arcade game, never got ported to consoles. Although that one did, I think, in the last couple of years. PlayStation Network or something like that. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know if I'll really be able to recognise whether or not that's the same game, if and when I boot it up, to be honest. I played it a few times and it was so long ago. Oh, it's so dirty. Robocop. Oh man. Part man, part machine, all game. This game pack may only be used with the Mattel or NES versions of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Mattel version of the NES. Didn't know about that. These really need a good clean. Wrath of the Black Manta. I don't even know what that is. I don't care. This is mostly a for reselling batch, I think. The games I've bought recently for selling, I haven't declared here because I'm not interested in them. But I do love a job lot and I love going through them normally. But there's a lot of shit here. Home Alone 2, again, it's got, for me, it's like, I could relive some of the AVGN stuff that I've experienced vicariously, but quite a project because these games are obviously quite tiresome to go through. Now this is fun. This is interesting. Oh, it's so dirty. Ugh. Video game enhancer, Game Genie. What is this all about? So weird. It's so dirty. I'm sorry, I keep going on about it. Got a wee bit of a cold at the moment as well, so I sound even more incensed and appalled than I might do. Yeah, interesting. I mean, a game, Game Shark type thing would probably. Well, I know I had a Game Shark on the Game Boy Color. I used it with Pokemon Gold for a while back in the day. I think I maybe even had a Game Boy Advance one actually. Maybe it's the same one. Maybe it worked with Game Boy Color games as well. So maybe that would have some nostalgia. In fact, I had a GameCube one as well. I borrowed a GameCube one for a short while. Hmm. So I remember using it on Wind Waker, like the moon jump thing. You don't really get them nowadays, do you? As far as I'm aware. I don't know. Maybe this is like the original, the first of its kind. The Game Genie that came out on the NES. I'm not sure. I'll look up. I know CEX wouldn't take it. If I checked this before buying all this stuff, just to sort of get a value I could give the guy, because I knew that the alternative of selling them to me was selling them at CEX. So I thought my offer might as well reflect that. Hook, but it's not Hook. It's Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. So, I actually have a copy of this. This one, cleanliness aside, might be in better condition. Just all to do with the label. And I've already talked about that a little bit here. I have since played it, however. So, and I like it. Sort of. But my confidence in the functioning of my NES is such that I never really feel like playing something that requires as much time as that. I always feel like I'm just setting myself up for upset when it just crashes on me. I really need to sort out the NES thing. It probably can be repaired. So I like the idea of having, playing an NES, having an NES to play. What does that say? Not sure. Now this is a game. Simpsons. When touching things that are dirty or dry, feeling sort of like, it's almost like a synesthetic. I feel it in my throat, like I can't breathe because of my fingers. Very strange. And I'm already feeling a bit limited. 4 lateral flow tests assure me that this is just a cold. 4 negative lateral flow tests. Okay, so The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants. This was in an AVGN episode as well, and from the very beginning, for the first time I watched that video on the Simpsons games, I thought this one looked good. I thought it looked interesting. In level 1 you've got to spray everything purple, or something. In level 2 you've got to pick up all the hats or something like that. I thought it looked fun and looked kind of inventive and a bit weird. So, and he was hating on it. But I thought it looked good, so I'm really interested to play that one. Maybe keep it, who knows. It's difficult. I never had an NES, so it's a bit like the Mega Drive for me, weirdly, even though I had a Mega Drive. It was my first console, but I hardly played anything on it. I had the same 4 games the whole time I had it. My awareness, my first-hand awareness and experience of the library is such that it's a very limited number of classics that I can see myself wanting to buy, unless I was just to buy everything, which I can't do and don't even want to do anymore. I don't want to collect everything for really any console, except maybe Game Boy. Game Boy's fun. So I look at all these games, it's like, yeah, I could play them, but even wanting to play them doesn't itself sort of presuppose a desire to keep them in my collection. Terminator 2. Again, there's the the rainbow of death. LJN. NES games really, it seems like it's just an AVGN thing for me now. Interestingly. Yeah, mayabros.com. I think mine was possibly in slightly better condition. In fact, it's right over here. Ever so slightly better condition. Whatever. And one of the few games, well, one of the two games I had before now, that work in my NES. So maybe I'll be able to test some of these games. I'm going to try it out, clean them all first, which will be a bit of an undertaking. Test them out, see which ones I can play on my machine. Look at that. WrestleMania. A man tearing off his clothes. Darkwing Duck, supposedly. Oh. Darking Duck. I do happen to know that the guy I bought these off is dyslexic, so that's not much of a surprise to me to see that. Jurassic Park. No disrespect, of course. Boulder Dash. I'm not even intrigued to play it. Game Boy games intrigue me for some reason. NES. It's a shame, really, isn't it? I've got no imagination. Jurassic Park. Ocean. Is it the same people who made it as the Game Boy game, which I have? Let's see. Which I haven't played, obviously. J. Yes. I wonder if it's an exact port. Or a close enough port. Ocean. Oh, let's have a nice little side-by-side comparison. That's nice, isn't it? That's fun. Yeah, I mean, look at the size of these cartridges. They're just... There's something amazing about them. Ugh. I suppose if I'm not going to sell these right away, and I needn't sell them right away, although I could get a fair chunk for them, I think, and then put that into buy more stuff to sell, and eventually in the course of that spend this on expensive collectibles, or relatively expensive things that I would not spend money on at the drop of a hat. Something like Tombi 2 comes along, which actually I would buy at the drop of a hat. Yeah, so bunch of NES games. It's kind of it's sad almost to see how little enthusiasm I have for these games. But maybe the NES library was just like that, full of a lot of crap. But then are there enough brilliant games on the library, in its library, to justify for me having an NES? I mean, I'm not going to get rid of, I want enough to play these few games, Zelda 2, all the Mario games. Let me think, what else? I mean, Ninja Gaiden seems cool, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3's on NES as well, if that came out in Europe. Don't see why it wouldn't have. Gargoyle's Quest 2, that's a fun one, which I've not played, but I know exists. I honestly can't think of... I mean, I don't know the NES library really well. Oh, any of the Final Fantasy games that actually came out over here. And I don't know which ones those would be. Getting to 20 minutes, aren't we? I'm going to call it there because I've got stuff to do. So, yeah, job lot. Love a job lot. Love a bargain. Oh, I've forgotten to. Quickly. Double Dragon, NES Classic. Do I care? Let's find out. And So Dirty, WrestleMania Steel Cage. Yeah, that's getting passed on. Cool. Yeah, that'll do. And thank you so much. Cheers. Goodbye.